Alright, let's do the input stream now, where we have done the out. So now we know how to write into the client. Now let's see how the server will explain today the idea, the data which has been written into the out. Remember, when I said
stream, you have already used that,
we
but
created this out stream and I made the out
in a more
equal
systematic manner.
Here,
we already talked about how to create a
Mike,
socket. This
for
is
example,
the statement
right?
which you use on
And
the client side.
now this out equal my name is Mike. It's immediately written
or an IP
I wrote
address
it in
and the
the
port
out.
number.
Out will
This is the statement
take it
which
to
the
the
server has to
client
execute
socket,
in order to
and
accept the
automated,
connection.
automated.
If the
TCP
server
IP
does
session
not
will,
execute the statement, the client will
transfer the
time out,
data,
will wait for
the message my name is
some
Mike
time
into
depending
the
on
link into the line. The line will carry it,
which
and
later
there will be a
we'll talk about
propagation
how to
delay
do the timeout.
as we computed
Anyway,
that in the
assume that we have the
previous
statement,
lectures.
we have the
So
statement. Now we are ready
data
to
is in the
to
server
exchange
socket.
data.
How does
In
it
order
go
to
from the
exchange
server socket
data,
into the
we
server
need,
itself? Here we will
to
use
have what is called the input-output stream.
Now,
Let me
think
first
here,
do
they call the N,
since
I
I'm
am on the other
using
slide,
the
by the
client
way.
here,
Let me take this out. 1 second.
and the client will send some message to the server. Of course, the server can actually initiate the
I'll
message.
use it
Once
here.
we have the connection
so we'll,
established between the client and the
take
server,
the N,
either one
alright,
of them
and there
talk
is
to the other.
a link
Let's
here. I want to establish
do
a
the,
connection, and
client
automatic
wants to
connection
talk to
between
the
the
server
server
with some
socket
data.
and the input
So I will
variable,
use the
exactly
output
the
stream
same way
first.
I did
This
with
is the
the
output.
input, with the output.
Now,
I'm sorry.
I call this
And,
out.
So this.
Now I can
goes from
actually
here
call this any variable. I can call it x.
into here.
I can call it y. I
And
can
here
call
I
it
will
anything.
just
This is a variable.
replace these things with
So
N.
for now, I will just call it out as we
And
now this out.
this is the
server socket
variable,
is used
and everything
to
else
write into the
remains
socket.
the same. The server socket
This
points to a
socket,
memory location.
remember, the socket
and
is
the
an address in
input
the memory.
will,
So let
will
me
have this.
make sure that we understand.
My
that.
name
We
is
take this,
Mike.
Socket.
Here, let's
Visualize it
okay,
somewhere
so
else.
my name is Mike here.
Somewhere
And
here.
this will go into the input. How do we do that?
I will draw.
We do it in the same manner we did for the out.
something
We
like
define
this.
a
This is
new
my memory.
stream. This is called the input
Take this
stream,
This is my
and it's a method
memory.
which it's
And,
already created in the Java
no.
so this is my memory
socket.
so
And within
right
the
here,
memory,
in the Java
there is
class, I'm sorry,
an address right
so
here.
let me take this guy,
There is a
and take it
location.
out of the way,
Okay.
so we can
This location is my
make
socket.
room
This is
for
my,
us.
and this could be actually, to be more accurate.
All right.
This is an address to the memory.
and I don't think
That's
it
my
will
address.
work. Okay,
Okay.
so now
And this address points
is the
to some
statement.
location in the memory.
this
Wait.
statement, which I say data input
That's my
stream, is in.
location
Now,
here
by the way, I can
in the memory.
change
So
this
this
in
address
anything I want. This can be X,
points
it can be Y,
somewhere here.
it can be Z, it can be
So
any
in
variable.
reality,
This is, a
this is
variable
my
we
socket.
defined. Now
So
here
this is
we
my
just
port
call it
number.
N just
This
to
could be
show that
address
I'm
1000,
reading
2000,
whatever in
that
the
address
server
is.
socket
And this is
into the
where the
into
data
this
is.
variable which I call it
So
N.
when I say
So
I want
if I do
to
the
write
data input
into the
stream
socket from
N
here, we take
here,
this.
that's my
and I would
variable.
say
Put it in
I want to
right
write
here.
from the
and I use
out
the method
into a socket.
call it
Actually,
client
what this is
dot
out
get
here.
input stream. This get
out.
input stream. Get input stream. This is a
on
this
the
is a
memory
method
scheme. It looks
that
something
is
like this.
part of the
This is my out.
Java class that has
All right.
that
This is my
creates
out.
the
Here,
socket for
and
us.
this was
Okay.
my socket number.
So this is the method data input
call
stream
it client socket.
N
That's my client socket.
equal a new connection,
in order
which is
to
data input
write
stream,
into
which allows
this location right
the-
here, I should be able to write a data. Now this
actually
out,
this should not be client here. It should be SS.
do the following.
This should be the server socket. If I have it client, I
I
will
want
be
to
referring
visualize
to
this. I
the
want you to understand
to this
this
guy
very
right here.
well. to the.
This is my
client.
data.
Now I'm
it might call
talking
this,
about
this
the
is number. So with this statement,
I'll call it my name.
when I have this
My
statement
name is
out,
the data that I have.
where
I
is
want
my
to
out?
write it into the socket. All right. My name is whatever.
right here.
I would like to write this data into
Okay.
this
is my
location.
output statement.
Okay.
Print
just one
stream out
second.
equal new, and I already had out equal my name is Mike. Now we'll
I
take
want
the
to
try.
write this data into this memory.
I put my name
Now,
is Mike
in
the
order
out,
to do
right
that,
here.
my name
And
is. I would like this
because
to go
I
to the,
already
to the
have
socket.
this
I
statement,
don't do it directly.
it's already defined.
I will have this
print out
whatever
stream out
in
equal
this
new,
out
and there is this
goes
method
into the
client of
socket.
get
I need
output
to have
stream.
an association.
So the my name
between
is
out and
Mike
the
goes
socket.
into the
And
into
I
the
want this
socket
to be
client. Over the link
I want
it
this
goes to the
every
server.
time I write something
The server
into the socket
out
here,
is my name
already
is
it's already
connected
out.
with
I
the
want
N.
this. My name
So
is
N now
to go directly
will read
into the memory.
the data that
this
comes
memory
in
which
the
is
socket
pointed
directly
to by the
actually
socket.
what
So how
exactly
do I do
goes
that
on
now
here
for
in
for
this
now?
method,
Ignore this thing.
there is always
Okay, so
a
let's take this
process
out
in the
from
background
picture.
that continuously read
Move
what's
it
in the
aside,
socket.
so this has
If
nothing
this
to do with
socket
my
has
picture,
any data,
I'll come back here.
if there is
So,
any
now,
data, any new
to
data,
establish the
now
connection between the
I
out
read the
and the
data,
CS,
I put it
I
in the
will
N.
have
Now,
a statement,
I
and the
finish.
statement
Then,
will be
as long as this
this is
stream
my
is
statement
alive and has not been
on
closed,
the
and I will
client
talk about
side.
closing this in a second. As long as it is
Let me get
alive
it from
and it
here.
has not been closed yet, this guy will
Okay,
continuously
this is,
go back to the SS to the socket and read what's in there. If I have something in there, I will read it.
my statement.
Now, assuming, just for a curiosity, I wrote in the statement right there, okay, I wrote out equal my name is Mike.
First, let me put it here so I can
And
explain it.
then
carefully.
I wrote one
So
more
this
time,
statement, which I call it
out equal
print,
hello sir, let's say
stream. This is my out.
the N here
That's exactly
did
it's
not
my out
have
right
enough
here.
time to read what's
It's
in
equal
the
new
socket in
something.
the server
So
side.
I'm creating something. I
So
call
the server
this
socket
something.
had the out
It's a
equal
print stream.
my name is Mike.
It's writing,
But
print
then
every
I
time
wrote
you use the
again
word
out
print,
equal
it
hello
means
sir.
we are
My name
writing
is Mike has
something.
not
We
been
want
read by
to write
N.
into
Now,
the
if I sent out equal hello
into
sir,
a variable.
It will
So,
overwrite
print stream
what's in the server socket.
client
And the
dot
N will
get
read only
output
out
stream.
equal
Now
hello
this is
sir and will
client.
miss this one. So there has to be a synchronization between this out
to put this
and
so
this
that
N.
it can be
Whatever
more
I
visible. Let
write,
me bring it
I
down
should
here.
read it immediately. That's why N continuously tries to read what's in the server
This
socket.
is my statement.
If there is any delay for
Make it
any
one
reason
statement.
and there is a problem, some disconnection, the N will not be able to
Make it
read
like
what's in the
this.
server socket.
So now we
let's,
understand.
let's make sure that
So
we
this
we
is a
understand
method.
that.
Client
Now, of
get
course, there is
output
another
stream.
way of doing it. We
So
can
I
have a queue.
get output stream.
So
It's a
the
method
SS
that
this
belongs to
server
the class
socket
to the
or
socket
the client
class,
socket,
which
will
is
not
the,
point only to one memory address
provided by
like
Java.
here. It
So
will
when I
point
say
to,
client dot get output
I can
stream.
talk about this
So
right now,
I am
and later on I will
writing something
have some
into
exercise
this
about
socket.
it.
Okay, the which is I call
okay.
now here I call it CS client socket. Actually,
Let's see
this is
how we
client.
do
so
that.
So we'll
Just
not
bear
confuse
with me.
things. This is the client.
And I will
So
expand
the socket
this
name is
memory.
client.
And
Dot get
here,
output stream.
okay, this is
And I put this into out, or I
another
put
one.
out into it.
okay.
So
Actually,
this statement,
this
which I just
becomes
wrote,
like a queue
actually
here.
establishes this
So
link. So when I execute
and
this
by the
statement,
queue I
print
mean
output, print
let us
stream
change
out
the
equal
colors.
new
And
print stream client dot get
one.
output stream. Actually, what I am doing, I'm making this link. So between output and the client,
the color
meaning
here.
when I say I put create a link.
So this is my name is Mike, and here I will say hello,
Right here,
sir.
exactly.
And
It
here
is
I will
like
say
what I
goodbye.
have just done here. That's what I did.
So I can do the server, the
This
socket, whether
link,
it's the server
this line
socket
here,
or the client
or the
socket,
statement,
so that it points
actually
to a
makes
queue,
a connection
which is
between
a list
this
of
out
memory
which
locations,
has it's the my name right
and this
here.
allows the N or the server to work at a different pace than the client. So the client was very fast, absolutely fast, and the server is very slow and it's very busy. So I allow the server to read
Okay.
First,
So this out.
this is first and
My
first
name
out.
is,
so my name is, and then I'll read hello sir, and then I'll read
it goes
goodbye. So if the
this
queue is
memory
about maybe 100
this
locations,
out,
so I will
which is
be able to
pointed,
fill 100
which is pointing to the
messages,
location called
and they
my
will
name
not
is,
override
and
each
this
other.
my name
Anyway,
is
that's
immediately goes
something
to
we
the
can
memory, which
discuss
is
also
pointed
later.
at
But
by
for
the,
now,
by
so I
the,
have the output
client
stream
socket. This is
allows
my
me to
client
write
right
into
here.
the socket. The input stream allows me
Okay,
to
this is my
read and to
client.
take the data
So
from
it's
the socket,
this.
whether it's in the server or in the
All right.
in the client.
So this
now,
connection,
for our example,
which I
the
have
echo,
just did,
which we did earlier, let me now,
it is the implementation
complete
of
the
the
story
statement.
Here,
So from this time
this is
on,
exactly
every
what I have.
time
The out,
put something
this
into
is the output
out
stream.
I
which
write,
I had.
if I say
write
out
into the
equal,
socket. Automatically, the
for
hello
example,
goes
let me,
here. Automatically goes into the socket.
call it,
and there, of course, there is a processing time, or there is a transfer time, and then automatically
equal,
goes in the end. This is the end of the auto cycle. For the data to go from the in to out for the echo, this is another statement. So when I write this hello, or I read whatever
so
I get from the
Mike, when I say
client,
so
n,
my name is Mike,
I would
goes
say
into
out equal
this location,
n,
and immediately
this could be
it will go into the socket.
my
So there is
statement.
no need any further to say, oh, the socket
Out,
now will have the value my
equal
name is Mike.
And
When I say
for
the socket
example, it could be
has the
something
value,
else, but let's say
actually
I
it's
can
this
do that.
location here,
A different way of writing it.
This
is not the
location,
correct syntax. I
will
will
have
show
immediately
I have the correct
the
syntax
statement
for that.
my name is Mike. So it will be at this memory location pointed to by the socket client, and it's ready to be transmitted
Here is my
to the communication link, which has already been
client.
established. So once I write the out, any statement or any data or any variable, depending on what the type of variable we want to write here, and there is a story behind that. You will know it in the lab session from the teaching assistants. So now this out
is the statement that we had in our example.
Once I write my name
where
is
it
Mike
says
into
out print.
this
now
association
I want to
between the out
get
and the
into
client
the
will
out.
be, it has already
Client
been established
say,
through the statement.
the client say, and then I read
So
the line. So there is a line
data
which I
goes
read
from the out into
in
the
N.
client socket,
Okay.
and
So
the
this is
TCP
the
IP session from this time on
what I got
will take
in the,
care of the data,
in
because
the
this
server. So
becomes
that's
a
how the
communication
statement
method. It will
goes.
take it, transfer it through the Ethernet card. From the Ethernet card of the system here, goes to the. It will read it from the memory from this location. It will put it on the line, and once it's on the line, it will, whether it's Wi-Fi or cable, it will go all the way to the other socket, which has, as I said, it has already been established.
Okay, the server
After
now
we did the accept statement, and it comes into the server socket. And on the server socket, it will be immediately transferred
I
to
get
the
line
other side, which I call
from
the
the,
end. So now I'll
from
stop
the
right here
input,
for the
which
out,
means I put
and I will,
whatever I had
in the next video clip, I will do the N stream, the input stream. Okay, these are the statements that allow me to echo the data. So I define line as a string. My string is line. Now the line, actually I get it from N. This is the N right here. So I put this into the string line, and then I write it into the out. Actually, these two statements, they replicate what symbolically I have symbolically. These three statements are exactly, so let me put it this, N into how do you do that? Into out. So if I to get my statement from the input stream, from the N into out, I will use this. I define line. Now line, I read whatever is N. This is N dot read line, and then I will use this system dot out as I did for the previous message right here. Okay. for the output. Okay, I'm using print stream client.get output stream. No, actually I did something else here. Okay, I can say system.out print line, and I put the line into the out. Now once this line, which is hello, which actually it's hello, I put it in the out. Now from this time on, once I execute this statement, once this statement is executed, this will immediately take the, this will, let's put it this way. So now hello will go into out, and this from out it will go into the server socket, and from the server socket it will go into the line, into the Ethernet line, and will go into the client socket, and will go from the client socket into the N on the client side, and that's it. It will stop right here. If I want to echo it again, then I will have to put this from N. I will have a statement to go from in into out. But for now, once I have this statement executed, as I said, the statement executed, this is exactly what goes on. Hello goes into out, from here to out. From out it goes into the socket through this line. From this socket it goes into this line, into this socket, and from the socket goes into N. So that's how the statement goes from now, in order for the N to be read, okay, on the client side also I need an N statement. So this is not sufficient for this. If I go back to my slide here, I have not done an N statement for the client. For this to be complete, I have to now, of course, here, let me where is my out? This has already been established. So with this line I can let me do it this way. Okay, and from out into the socket, I already done that. So now we have this cycle: out, client socket, server socket, N, out. Again, this is the server socket, and from server socket to client socket. Now we have to do the N. We have to read it at the client side. So I need an N here, and with this N I will use the same statement right here, this for, but then I will change this from SS into client or client socket, client.get input stream. So with these two statements, now of course I have this one also here for my output, and I will take these. Okay, so now I am all set. I have defined my output stream for the client. I have defined my input stream for the client. My output stream to the client, input stream of the server, so I receive data. I have the output stream on the server so that I can write into the socket and send back to the client. and here I have the input stream into the client, which takes the data from the socket. And here, now note that once the data is in the N, once I have it from the server, the client is free to do whatever it wants with this data. It can process it, it can go to a database, it can retrieve data, it can use it as SQL command, it can do whatever it wants with the message and the information that it received from the server. And then once it's done, it can do the reply, whatever reply it wants to do based on the queried data from the database, based on the instruction that has come from the server. If the server or let's say if the client here has asked for what time is it, now the server can say, okay, now it's time, let's say it's 4:35 p.m. So set up your clock. So you send back this data, you send the time, you send the time back, and once you send the time back, the client will take the time, will set up its clock and finish. This is as much as it goes for the two main methods to allow the data to be written into the socket and to allow the data to be read out of the socket and then do whatever you want. Now, mind you, there are different methods. These are not the only methods for reading and writing into the socket. The methods will define what type of data can be read and what type of data can be written into the socket. By the type, I mean whether it's characters, whether it's a string, whether it's integer, whether it's real, whether it's an image, whether it's audio. Those formats of data, there are different methods for using them, for using these sockets to read and write from the socket. So please go to the net, find out all the types of methods, and make sure that you use the appropriate one. We will not have enough time here to go over all of them, but this should be more than enough to do them. So let me, just before I close, let me go to the client code that you have seen and you have used already. This is the one. Okay. Now all of these are you are importing the classes and that Java provides. This is the where is my this is my client, this is my server. I want the client. Okay, this is my can I do the format here? I think I can. Just want to increase the size of the fonts if I can. I think I can. Okay. Yes. So this is my socket. I define it. I create a new socket. Now there is something here. This is the port, by the way, the port of the server. I still don't know what is the port of the socket. This is, we will show later how we can find out the address and the port of the client. This is my data input stream where I define this connection. I link my client socket, which is called here client. This is my socket. I link it with this n variable using this method, the new data input stream. I link my output, my out, to the client socket. So the client socket gets its data. Now the out here means send to the client, write to the client, and then the rest are obvious. Before we finish here, later on I will talk explicitly about these three statements. These are very, very important statements. Client close, in close, out close. Those are very, very important. We need to close the sockets and the input and the output streams before we finish our program, and I will talk about that later in a different video. Similarly, for the server sockets, we said I define my socket, my server socket. Now note that I define two sockets here. I define the main socket, which is called the server, and within this socket, the server, I define this called the client. Now the reason I do that, and again there will be another video for this, because I want my server to interact with many clients, but each client will come to a specific location of the, if you will, a specific entry into the socket, so that I know which client I am talking to. Currently I am having this client socket. I could call it client 1, if you will, if I was doing multiple clients, but for now I only have one client, so it's sufficient to say I have a. But this client here is different from the client on this guy. Oops, this is my client. Yes, I call this client, and here I call this also client. These two clients, this one and this one, are two different animals. They are not the same. Okay, and I will explain this later, but for now I will stop right here and close this video.